Hello students. In previous class we discussed about central problems of an economy. So why the problems are arising? Because of lack of resources, that is called scarcity of resources. Scarcity of resources means that is less of resources or less availability of resources to produce goods and services. So next topic is simple economy. How the economy perform, in the economy how the producers are producing goods and services and how the consumers are consuming goods and services, whether producers are producing all goods and services, whether consumers are consuming all goods and services. Just imagination, is it possible to produce all goods and services? Is it possible to consume all goods and services? No, because resources are availability is less. Human wants are unlimited, resources are limited. That's why every individual has some amount of only a few of the goods and services. Every individual has some amount of only a few of the goods and services that he would like to use. It is not possible to produce all goods and services, not possible to consume all goods and services. So only few wants can be fulfilled, only few goods can be produced. Every economy, definitely each and every economy face the scarcity of resources. How that one? So for example, a family farm may own a plot of land, some grains, farming implements, maybe a pair of bullocks, and also the labor service of the family members. See, all the people are not possible to having all the goods and services, not possible to produce all the goods and services. They can produce only few goods. But what about the remaining? By producing few goods and they are exchanging for other goods. Producing few goods and keep some amount of goods for themselves and remaining they are exchanging for other goods. So that is only how we will see in this topic, that is simple economy. A family farm may own a plot of land, some grains, farming implements. Farming implement means those which are helpful to the agriculture, maybe a pair of bullocks, and also the labor services of the family members. As a weaver may have some yarn, some cotton and other instruments. What purpose? Required for weaving cloth. As the teacher in the school, he has the skills. What for? Required to impart education to the students. Impart education to the students. And few are only having few resources, but some others in society may not have any resources excepting their own labor services. Imagination, all the producers not possible to produce all the goods and services because they are having less resources. Some others in the society may not have any resources excepting their own labor services. So in this situation, how they are fulfilling their needs and wants? So each of these decision making units means, see, households are the decision making units. Households like land, labor, capital, organization. Households means land, labor, capital, organization. These are called as factors of production. So this is also decision making unit as producers, like even households and also producers. So they both are decision making units. Here land, labor, capital, organizations are factors of the production. So each of these decision making units can produce some goods are services. services by using the resources that it has. How much resources they are having, using that they are producing goods and services. So after producing, use part of the produce to obtain the many other goods and services which it needs. Use part of the produce to obtain the many other goods and services which it needs. That means they are utilizing goods and services. How much they are having? Using that they are producing goods and services. So in that part of that they are using for their consumption, and remaining what purpose they are using? They are utilizing get many other goods and services which it needs. So don't forget students, all the producers not possible to produce all the goods and services, and they are not having all the types of resources, because in the economy, each and every economy face the scarcity of resources. In this situation, few things only they are producing, and few things only they are producing, remaining they are exchanging for goods and services. For example, the family farm can produce corn. Imagination or assume the family farm can produce corn. Use part of the produce for consumption purpose, and remaining they are exchanged for clothing, housing and other various services. Okay, think like this. Here the family farm can produce corn. Out of this, use part of the produce for consumption purpose, and remaining they are exchanged for clothing, housing, other various services. As the weaver can get goods and services. How much he wants? How? In exchange for the cloth. He produces in his yarn. Okay. As the teacher can earn some money. How? By teaching students in the school. The teacher can earn some money by teaching students in the school, and the same money using for obtaining other goods and services what he want. Okay, the teacher can earn some money by teaching students in the school and use the money for obtaining the goods and services that he wants. So like this, each individual can use his resources to fulfill his needs. But don't forget, no individual has unlimited resources. Compared to his needs. Say, continue that one. The amount of corn that the family farm can produce. Is limited by the amount of resources it has. How much he has resources, that much only he has to produce goods and services. And for the remaining goods, what he has to do? The amount of different goods and services it can procure in exchange of corn. The amount of different goods and services that it can procure in exchange of corn, that is also limited. Not possible to produce more, not possible to exchange more, that is also limited. So in this situation, to get other good, he has to exchange what he has produced. Okay, to get other goods, so he has to exchange what he has produced. As that means you have to understand, the family is forced to make a choice. Between the different goods and services that are available. Here, it can have more of a good or service only by giving up some amount of other goods or services. That means to get off one commodity, you should sacrifice another commodity. Not possible to get satisfaction, not possible to produce all goods and services. Why? Because scarcity of resources. The scarcity of resources arises the problem of choice. So this problem of choice only arising the problems, like what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. So that's why in the economy, to get off one commodity, you should sacrifice another commodity. For example, if the family wants to have a bigger house, it means he has to give up the idea of having a few more acres of land. To purchase of more land, he has to sacrifice his want, which is that if the family wants to have a bigger house, it may have to give up the idea of having a few more acres of land. As if it wants more and better education for the children, it may have to give up some of the luxuries of life. If you want to get more luxury life, that time he has to give up the better education for the children, either education or luxuries. As the same in the case with all other individuals in the society, everyone faces the scarcity of resources. Therefore, we have to utilize properly our best possible way to fulfill his needs. So this is a simple economy. You have to clear that here. To get off one commodity, we should sacrifice another commodity. Why? Because the economy faces the scarcity of resources. Because of this only, we have to study economics. Thank you.